We have a muscle called the Occipitofrontalis. Well, the occipito is in the back, and the frontalis is in the front. So we have two sections of this muscle. This here, and it's number 1 on this model, this is the frontal belly of the Occipitofrontalis. Frontal belly of the Occipitofrontalis. And number 3 on this model, so here and here, this is the occipital belly of the Occipitofrontalis. Okay, occipital belly of the Occipitofrontalis. All right, so this is the Orbicularis, because orbit, circular, Orbicularis Oculi. Orbicularis Oculi. We have another sphincter muscle around the mouth. So remember when duck faces were in, the selfies with the duck faces? So this is your duck face muscle, or your kissy lips muscle, at number 8 in this model. This is the Orbicularis Oris. Oris, O-R-I-S. Okay, Orbicularis Oris. So I'm hoping that you're still smiling, and if you are still smiling, let me show you the muscles you're using to do that. The top one at number 11 in this model is the Zygomaticus Minor muscle. This one is the one that when you smile poofs out your cheeks a little bit. Makes you just look adorable with poofy cheeks, right? And then number 12 is the one below it, and that's the Zygomaticus Major muscle. This one pulls the ends of the mouth a little bit more than the Zygomaticus Minor. But both the Zygomaticus muscles are for smiling. Now, sometimes you just want to go, eee, when the muscles of the mouth just drop, not up or down, but just straight out like, eee, like that. That muscle that does that is here at number 13. This is the Risorius. The Risorius muscle. It kind of allows us to wince. At number 16 on this model, you might recall that this area of the chin is the mental region. So this muscle here is the Mentalis. So we have 2 muscles of mastication that you need to know. Mastication means to chew. This muscle here is the temporalis muscle. This is the temporalis. The second muscle of mastication that you need to know, right here at number 21, this is the masseter muscle, the masseter muscle. So this here at number 17 on the model is the buccinator, the buccinator. You might recall that the buccal region is the region of the cheek. There's one muscle in the neck that I want you to know. That muscle is here at number 25 on this model, and that is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. The reason that it has such a weird name is if you look at where it's connected to, I actually have this connected to the sternum, which is the sterno. The cleido part is for the attachment to the clavicle, and then the mastoid part of sternocleidomastoid is because it's actually also attaches here at a place called the mastoid process of the temporal bone. So sternocleidomastoid. At number 1 here, this is the frontal belly of the Occipitofrontalis. All right, so frontal belly of the Occipitofrontalis. Here at number 3, this is the Orbicularis Oculi. The Orbicularis Oculi. At number 4, this is the Orbicularis Oris. The Orbicularis Oris. At number 10, I have the Zygomaticus Minor muscle. Zygomaticus Minor muscle. And below that, I have number 11, which is the Zygomaticus Major muscle. Zygomaticus Major muscle. At 13, I've got the Risorius muscle. Okay. At 15, this is the Mentalis muscle. At 19 here, This is the masseter, and since I'm over here, at number 23, this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle at 23. Sternocleidomastoid. This is the sternocleidomastoid again on this side. At 21 in this model, this is the temporalis. The temporalis. This is the pectoralis major muscle. This is number 59. Pectoralis major muscle. Number 60 over here is the pectoralis minor muscle. The pectoralis minor muscle. At number 61, I have this muscle here. This muscle here at 61 is called the serratus, or serrated edge. Okay, the serratus anterior. The serratus anterior. On this model, we have the internal intercostal muscles, and here are the external intercostal muscles. So these would be the external intercostal muscles. So here is the Gluteus Maximus. The Gluteus Maximus. At number 25, right here, this is the occipital belly of the Occipitofrontalis muscle. At 24 is going to include this entire muscle here. Let me put this down a little bit. This whole muscle here is the trapezius. The trapezius. It's called the trapezius because if I have the trapezius on both sides, it's going to form a diamond shape or a trapezoid. Okay. At 64, which is here, I have a muscle called the latissimus dorsi. Latissimus dorsi. This muscle here, which includes all of this, and this is the deltoid. The deltoid. Okay. The Greek letter delta looks like a triangle. Okay, so for that reason, that's why they call it a deltoid, because it kind of forms a triangle shape here. This is the rectus abdominis. Rectus abdominis. This is where you get that six-pack if you work out enough. Okay. Rectus abdominis. Since these are the deeper muscles, at 63, you'll see I've got muscle fibers in the abdomen going at an oblique angle. These are the internal obliques. The internal obliques at 63. When I look at the more superficial side, I've got some muscles here. Those are going to be the external obliques. Here at 57, this is part of the biceps brachii. Biceps brachii. So these are the muscles of the rotator cuff. What this is here, this is the spine of the scapula, or scapular spine. The muscle above it at number 48 is the supraspinatus, or supraspinatus. The supraspinatus. Below the spine of the scapula at number 49, we have the infraspinatus. The infraspinatus. Here at number 50, I've got the teres minor. The teres minor muscle. This is the teres major. And number 51 is the teres major. Here at 53 is a portion of the triceps brachii. Portion of the triceps brachii. And this is the subscapularis. This is the subscapularis. The reason it's called that is this is the scapula here, and it's underneath or deep to the scapula. Subscapularis. This muscle here is the deltoid. Okay, this is the deltoid. The deltoid is number 14 in the arm model. Number 16 in the arm model is the biceps brachii muscle. Okay, bi means two, ceps means head. So this is a two-headed muscle. Okay. So this is the biceps brachii here. This is where I start to get into the triceps. Now there's a muscle between the triceps brachii and biceps brachii, which is right here. This muscle is the brachialis. The brachialis. Okay, the brachialis muscle. So here you can see more of the triceps brachii. Let's go over those rotator cuff muscles. All right, so here is the deltoid again, the deltoid. This is the spine of the scapula right here. This is the supraspinatus, the supraspinatus. From here to here, all of that is going to be infraspinatus, the infraspinatus. And at 12, that's the teres minor. So the teres minor is just this little triangle right here. Okay. At 13, I have this muscle here, which is the teres major, the teres major muscle. All right, so here's the biceps brachii again. Let's move down the arm. At number 28, this is the pronator teres. The pronator teres at number 28. Now, you might recall this is the brachialis. If I follow the brachialis down, this muscle here at number 27 is the radiobrachialis. The radiobrachialis. If I follow 29, this is its tendon. And I can see that the tendon is going to lie on the radial side. The anterior portion of the forearm, those are all going to be flexors. It's going to flex the carpals. Okay, so this is the flexor carpi. And where is it going to flex it to? Toward the radial side. Okay, so we call this the flexor carpi radialis. Flexor carpi radialis at number 29. If you follow this muscle, you'll see that this tendon goes straight to the middle of the palm. So for this reason, this is called the palmaris, or the palmaris longus, or palmaris longus. So now I'm on the pinky side, but this is still anterior. All right, so since it's anterior, it's going to be a flexor again. It's going to flex the carpals, flex the wrist on the side of the ulna. So this is the flexor carpi ulnaris. Flexor carpi ulnaris. We're at the posterior portion of the arm. So these are my extensors. So this is going to be the extensor carpi ulnaris, and that's 46. All right, extensor carpi ulnaris. So 45, if I look at this and I go down, I'm going to see that, oh, this is going to extend, because remember these are extensor. So this is going to extend what? Oh, this is going to extend my middle fingers, especially my favorite one, right? This one is called the Extensor Digitorum. The Extensor Digitorum. Okay, so there's 4 quadriceps muscles. I'm only going to ask you to know 3 of them, and I'll let you know why. So first of all, number 14 here. This is the Rectus Femoris. The Rectus Femoris. The Rectus Femoris. At number 15, this muscle here is the Vastus Medialis. Vastus, like it's vast, it's large. Vastus Medialis. Here at number 17, this is the Vastus Lateralis. The Vastus Lateralis. And the Vastus Lateralis is vast. So this is the Vastus Lateralis, but so is this. This is also the Vastus Lateralis. It travels underneath this tendon here. So I'm going to rotate the leg slightly medially. All right, this is the inner portion of the leg here. We have this odd strap-like muscle here, and this is the sartorius muscle. The sartorius muscle, because of the way it wraps around the leg, this allows you to cross your legs, to play hacky sack, to play soccer, okay, to bring the inside of your foot up. So that's the sartorius at number 13. Here at number 19, this is the adductor longus. Even though it doesn't look very long, it continues underneath these muscles. Number 19, adductor longus. At number 20, I have the gracilis. The gracilis. Here's the gluteus maximus. I've got 3 hamstring muscles. At number 25, this is one of your hamstring muscles. This is the biceps femoris. Biceps femoris. Remember that the semimembranosus for 28, this is underneath 27. Okay, so this is the semimembranosus, and this here is also semimembranosus. So remember that the semitendinosus at 27 lies on top of the semimembranosus. The tendinosus tends to sit on top of the membranosus. These are the calf muscles, the gastrocnemius muscles. So this is the gastrocnemius. The gastrocnemius muscles, and that's 34 and 35. This has 2 names, the Peroneus or the Fibularis longus. So the Fibularis longus lies over the fibula. Okay, number 3 right here is the tensor fasciae latae. Now, this is important because I've got this huge tendon. See this thing? Okay, so it's kind of important to know tensor fasciae latae. Okay, so that's this here.